Come laugh, learn, and love with us, your hosts, Peter and Theresa Martin. We're going to share stories, insights, everything on how to strengthen your marriage. We're going to have a lot of fun because we've got wisdom to share as long as it's shared with humor and maybe a glass of Italian red. Join us now for the next episode of Love That Lasts.
Welcome to the Love That Lasts podcast. We are your hosts, Peter and Theresa Martin, and today we have special guests coming to us from Grand Rapids, Minnesota. This is Josey and Beth Varberg. Please welcome our guests. We're so excited to have you with us. It's always fun to have other people to banter with. I know Theresa and I do just fine together, but it's just nice to be able to have a conversation with someone else and not just the cameras.
So welcome, Beth and Josey.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So we're so excited to be able to share your story with others and to be able to, first of all, hear your love story. So tell us, how long have you guys been married, kids that you have, and then we'll find out like where it all started.
Sure. So we've been married, just celebrated our 18th wedding anniversary. We have 5 children. Youngest is 2, oldest is 14.
Wow.
Just about 15.
Just about 15. She'll be 15 in about a month. So
You're going to have to start doing the driver's license permit stuff soon.
Yeah. That's begun.
She's taken some of the courses, but yeah, she's got to take the written test and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not sure how motivated she is, but we're working on it. So we need another driver in the house.
And yeah, I know that it is a good thing, but what we've discovered is that each kid has a different take on it. Like the first one wanted it bad. The second one didn't know if he wanted it at all. The third one it took him forever. Yeah. And now we've got the fourth one just started like 2 weeks ago. And it's one of those things you kind of wish you could just hire someone. So I've heard that some grandparents love that part and they do all the driving behind the wheel, and I'm like, I wish I had my parents that could do that, but my mom's 85 and I don't think that would
be stressful. Because the worst thing is like your child being like, just chill out, mom, when like seriously you're like, but we almost crashed, stop it. No, it's so great.
Wonderful. I'm sure many adventures await on that front.
We don't have any grandparents in the area, and I'm not sure that they're the people I'd want my children to emulate when it comes to driving.
Yeah.
Sometimes, so. I don't know which would be more unsafe. So
18 years married, that's amazing. Because I thought, I don't know, like you guys look so young.
Honestly,
I thought you were like only 10 years in.
Really? I don't know how old were you and was that legal?
Were you only 14 when you got married? I mean, you guys are just so young and beautiful.
Well, let's just say my last pregnancy, I had elderly gravid.
Yeah.
I'm an elderly gravid. So
yes.
We both celebrated our birthdays last month. Beth's 44, I'm 45.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. Yeah, no, the whole, well, that's a nicer term, elderly gravid. I think I was a geriatric pregnancy for my last year.
It's just like.
Seriously?
Makes you feel so good.
Yeah, whoever came up with that was not a happy person. Let's just insult them.
I think when you get over the age of 35, that's when they put that little marker on there, which isn't very old, but
no, not at all. So, okay, so how did you guys meet?
We met working as nurses in Rochester
a long time ago. Yeah. That's kind of a happenstance. You know, I was on a softball league and with some friends, and we were both kind of getting off work around the same time, and I had softball that evening, and I thought, we'll probably go out for a drink afterwards. You want to come? She met us with one of her friends, and it was the end of that's how it began. So
we kind of dated in secret for several months because we didn't want the other people we worked with to be weird around us, and so but everyone eventually did find out, and it was really neat. Josie went on then to a new job, and we got married up in International Falls, Minnesota, and that was quite an adventure. It was kind of like a destination wedding, kind of. My family lives up there, but his family all came from North Dakota. So it was really a wonderful celebration.
It was.
Now, when you guys got married, were you already into your faith at that point? Was that important to you?
No.
No, I'm gonna be honest, we really weren't. We were very, very, it had fallen to the wayside. I grew up Catholic. Beth grew up Catholic. It was important to our families as we grew up, but as we went through college, like, I didn't go to mass very often. I never went to confession. It was kind of more of, if I was at home with my family, I would go, but if I was on my own, like, it was terrible, right? Not good. And as we started dating, there were times when we would go to church together, but it was rare. But for some reason, when we got married, we got married in the church, and I don't know if it was being in that season where you go to so many different weddings, like 3-4 weddings a summer, something like that, right? Yeah. And seeing all these different weddings, that I knew when we got married, that was the one thing, that we need to have a full Catholic mass, like a Catholic wedding. Something was telling me it was like the right thing to do, and that's what we did.
Eventually, later on in our marriage, we became mentor couples for engaged couples in our parish, and we thought, gosh, why did Father ask us? And then we realized we've had learning experiences in every category, meaning as we've made mistakes in every. So it's really a testament to God's work that he can just make beautiful things out of a mess. And just as we had our first child, we just had that inner feeling like we had to be doing more. When she was about 6 months old, we moved up here to Grand Rapids from Rochester, and then that's when our faith life really took off. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Through Bible studies, we went through some hard times together, like we've been through infertility and miscarriage, infant loss. All of those things are just a walk that we made together. Sometimes it wasn't always in sync. Sometimes one would be growing more and the other one wouldn't, but we always were just kind of pulling each other along. So,
yeah.
And now here we are.
Yeah. And just for our friends in the audience too, we're actually recording this in the evening. So instead of coffee, I am able to have a glass of Italian red. Finally. Yeah.
We were going to have to change the intro because we just never drank wine.
Well, because it was always recording in the morning. So thank you, Beth and Josie, for choosing an evening time to do this. And and just fair warning too, we're coming up on one of our sons, one of the first late term miscarriages, his 10th anniversary is in a few days from this recording. And so if I get teary-eyed when you're sharing, that's where all that emotion is coming from. But I totally feel that, because when those things happen, either you cling closer to God or you kind of fall apart. Right. You know what I mean? So so either you're going to find a stronger hold within your faith and find some grab hold of that anchor, or you kind of get rocked and get pulled away from that.
Yeah, Theresa shared, I'm assuming it was from Facebook. It was one of these memories. And so she shared it, and getting that memory was not helpful, because it just brought back all those bad memories. And I'm like, oh yeah, that was a rough time in our lives. We look back now, because we're 10 years separated, and we realize God was there and there was a reason. We still don't know the exact, but we are a lot more certain now than we were then. Back then, we really just questioned, why, God? Why would you do this? This makes no sense at all. But we didn't allow it to separate us. We held on to each other. It was kind of this moment of, we don't have anything if we don't have each other. Like, let's not make this worse than it is. So we held on to each other, even though we both were so empty, we felt like we had nothing to give. But yeah, how beautiful that God, even though obviously it's not something we would wish on anyone, you look back and you realize God was there and he was using that, even that pain, he allowed it, and then he used it for greater good.
And even so, I mean, just to touch on some things that you mentioned, like in the first 4 years of our marriage, I had a doctor tell me we'd never be able to have kids. I mean, like that was and just like there was all kinds of things in the ultrasound, and I was having pains and different things, and then to just kind of grapple with that thought to begin with, and then grief is a crazy thing because you grow beyond it. I once saw this, I wish I could find it again, but there was like this graphic where it said, "This is grief," and it had like a scribble. And then it's like, and then it doesn't actually get smaller, but your life gets bigger. And then there'll be that one trigger thing that like you see, like we saw a picture of from that time. And it was like that your life goes zoom right back to that moment, and it grips you on the inside, and you're right back in that. And they have to remind yourself that no, God has brought us through it. Like, it's okay. I mean, it's still good to process the grief and to go through it and to feel all the feels. That's important, right?
Yeah.
So maybe we'll touch on that a little bit more too.
Yeah, that is it's just a crazy thing to ponder, and it can, like you said, it can hit you at the oddest of times, and it can be just a little thing at the dentist. It's like, don't worry, I'm fine. You asked the wrong question today.
I was at the chiropractor today, and it was a new chiropractor for me, so I had to fill out all these forms. And then he was like, "When did this all start? And when did this all happen?" And it was from that. I mean, like it started at that point. So all of a sudden, I'm like tearing up and crying, and he's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm fine." It's just you just
Not exactly how I wanted to start this relationship, but no.
No, I know. So, okay, you started mentoring engaged couples and growing in your faith. And, but then you didn't come upon the rule for several years after that.
Right. It was kind of random. When our youngest, her name was Faustina, when she was a baby, like when I was up in the middle of the night, I'd be watching podcasts on YouTube rather than trashy TV. And a priest from our diocese, Father Mike Schmidt, you might have heard of him. Father Mike Schmidt was on.
Might have heard of him. Just might have.
He was on the Christophonic show. So I thought, well, that'd be fun to watch Father Mike on there. So I watched it. And then I think it was sometime later, and this is also very random, but I decided to paddle on our paddleboard around our lake. And it's kind of a long...
Not our lake, the lake.
The lake.
You don't own a lake.
And I thought, well, it's going to take a while. So I put on a podcast, and then Christophonic show just happened to pop up, and it was you guys talking about married couple groups and the rule and JP2. And I just thought this all sounded so amazing. So I was just so eager to get home and tell Josie. And I got to our lake shore, and I ran up the bank, and he was working on a bonfire. I told him all about it, and he just goes, "Oh, okay." It just wasn't, it wasn't the right timing, I guess.
Yeah.
And so then later on that winter, I went to the March for Life with some people from our church, and I had a lot of alone time, which never happens as a mother with young children. But I got to ride on the bus for several hours, and I came home, and I just said, "Josie, I feel called to more. Like, can we talk about, like, should I pursue this ministry, or can we talk about married couple groups again?" And he said, "Sure." And so we went on a drive during preschool. Our son Michael was at preschool, Faustina was sick, and we got a caribou and just listened to another podcast that you had. And the podcast ended and he said, sign us up for the training.
Like, it just, when we listened to it, it reminded me a lot of the point in my life where my faith really grew the most. Like, I used to get together with a bunch of guys and like a guys group, right? Like, we had a book that we would read, but it wasn't really always about the book. I mean, it was very similar to the setup that we do with our married couples group every week. You kind of sit down and you talk about, like, hey, what's been going good? Like, what are you struggling with? What's your family need prayers for right now? Stuff like that. It would just, my faith life, I mean, started going to adoration and like all this stuff grew so much just from getting together with those guys, and that group had kind of dissipated and I was really missing it. The priest that led it ended up getting a different assignment, and some of the guys kind of split apart and we just never really did it again, but I missed it. And then when I heard about this is the same thing, but I think they're similar, but I get to do it with Beth. Like, this is awesome, you know?
Right.
So we were really looking for something to do together, because it's really easy to get torn into the men's groups and the women's groups.
Seriously.
And then you're going in different directions, and we don't really have a lot of free time with 5 children. So it just sounded really appealing. And so I said, are you sure? Like, the deadline to sign up is Saturday, and it was Thursday. And so we just, we just hurried up and got our papers in. And then we thought, how on earth are we going to fit this into our schedule? This doesn't seem like it will work. And then we got the email and it said all the classes are on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. And that's literally the only free time on our calendar. So it was really, it just felt like God's providence, really.
Yeah. And how did you find time to do all the added reading and homework that we assign?
Well,
He's kind of joking.
like, not completed that, but
no, this is one of the things, and you were absolutely right, Beth. This is one of the hangups that people have is how am I going to fit all of this in? And we're aware of that because we've been doing ministry for a very long time, and we're aware of great programs, but just maybe not set up for your average mom or dad. Like, evenings aren't really free. We're dead tired because we've been putting kids to bed, and now I'm supposed to sit down and read. So we're aware of all of that. So we have a very minimal requirement. We ask that everyone show up for the training that we offer. But as far as like homework, like, we're not adding extra things.
There is
a little bit
of reading.
We want our leader couples to be kind of seasoned before their married couple group starts. So we ask them to do some of the things that are in our married couple group. But yeah, the training, which will be starting in September. And so if there's couples out there that are interested in becoming a leader couple and starting a married couple group, you can join our training. And again, it's geared for the average. And we're aware that younger couples are more attracted. Maybe they're feeling called to this more frequently. And so that's also why it starts at 8 p.m. We're hopeful the kids are in bed and
may I?
Yeah.
Sorry. So just for all of our friends who are watching this fun conversation, and just your honesty and everything, Josie and Beth, thank you so much. The one thing to remember is, so this is a 7-week course and you have 4 mentorship sessions, and those you do have to be like live for, but your mentor couple will like work around your schedule and find a time that works best for you. And even if you can't, even if Tuesday 8 p.m. isn't the magical time for you as it was for Beth and Josie, those are recorded, so you can watch them after the fact and then talk with your mentor couple about that. So we really try to make it personal, try to make it as accessible as possible. What did you guys think when you were praying about who to invite to your married couple group?
We really we started, we thought about some of the people in our parish that always seem to be, first off, like devout, right? We see them every weekend at Mass, or we're seeing them at other church type functions, and people involved, people that were that people we got along with, that we talked to socially, or even, and started asking.
Well, we also prayed individually.
Yeah.
And then had a little list, whether it was on a paper or in our mind, of names. And then we just kind of went from there, like, who do we both have on the list after we prayed about it?
Mm-hmm.
And
taking those things into account, we ended up with, it was amazing. The first couple we asked, we had them over for supper, and we were telling them about, like, oh, we did some training, we read this book, like, really great. We really want to start this, and talked a little bit about it. I don't even think we were done. And Tom looked at us and said, yeah, like, we've been waiting for you.
Aww.
I mean, we were all nervous and like stuttered over our words, and at least I was. And then they just said, yeah, we've been waiting for this. So that kind of gave us the excitement to ask the next person. We asked one by one, and we asked together, like, as we met with them as husband and wife.
And had another couple over and talked to them, and they took a little while to get back. We were then excited, and just kind of until we had 3 couples that were willing to come over, and we set a date, and this is when we're going to do it. And the rest is history.
Then once you started, how has that affected your marriage?
I'm not going to say it's night and day, right? Like, we had I felt a good marriage before, but I think we smile more. Like, I think we talk to each other a lot more than we did before.
Our communication has gotten better.
Significantly better. Yeah.
I think it might be, the dialogue or whatever, but our communication style is better. And so if we're discussing something, I feel like it's just a more fruitful conversation, and we're more respectful and can hear what each other is saying more. It's just, it's really elevated that, I think.
And it's given us an opportunity to really, like, take a little bit of time every week and have fun with each other, right?
Yeah.
It's not all like struggling to get the kids to bed and trying to just, like, have the energy to get through the day, right? You look forward to this one night a week where we're gone for a couple hours, and I mean, you're with other people, but like, you're enjoying each other and seeing each other. Our married couples group has younger people and older people, and it's I mean, people older than us, I should say. They're not old, but they're older than us, and at different stages of life, with kids in their 30s and 20s and ours, and then some really little ones. And it's so beautiful just to be able to talk with them and, like, hear their struggles and get wisdom from them. Like, what did you do when you're like, when this happened, right? Or to look at the younger couple in our married couples group and just reminisce, like, oh man, remember when our kids were like that? Like, how much how joyful that was to see them, just rolling around on the floor because they just learned how to do it or whatever,
Yeah.
And drive us nuts. But it's so cute when your kids do it.
And I guess I would just say with that, the MCG meeting, we meet on Mondays, and it's just become the anchor point of our week. It's just become the thing that, like Josie said, we look forward to, and it just gives us energy for the week. And it's really beautiful. When we were telling someone, when we had our first meetings, we would do our prayers at the end, and then everyone would leave. And it was like, because we just were getting to know each other, right? And now it's like we say our prayers and everybody gets another drink or a piece of dessert. And I mean, we've gotten scolded from our eldest daughter that we've been coming home too late. We have a curfew now of 10 p.m.
That's funny.
Yeah.
No, that's beautiful. Mm-hmm. Well, and I think we say this a lot too, but grace builds on nature. Right. And I think that was one thing that we tried to implement, that we thought JP2 would want us to implement, is like that teaching these natural communication skills of the dialogue.
Sure.
And dialogue. If you're curious about dialogue, we'll put it in our show notes. We haven't mentioned it.
I was going to say it came up in another episode.
And but what it does is it allows really to get down to that deepest need to be fully known and fully loved. But
Mm.
it's more on the natural plane of learning to communicate and listen, right? And not just be ready to answer and thinking of your answer while someone is talking, right? So to be able to build that nature, like the natural level, but then God can build on that. And I think what you're saying is what we've seen in other couples too. There's this spiritual elevation of your unity, of your joy, of your ability, and your closeness with the other couples in the group, and so how long have you been doing your married couple group?
It's been, I'm going to say 15 months. In that time, I think we've maybe missed 2 weeks. And with the times that we miss, everybody is like, we can't miss. Like, we can't do this anymore. Like, we need to get together every week because people were, and that was the biggest hang up, right? Everybody's like, oh, I don't know, meeting once a week. I don't know if we can do it. And now people, like the people in our married couple group, like, don't want to go more than like more than a week is too much, right? Like, you got to get together every week. So
no, and in this climate, summers are coveted. So obviously there's a lot of activity in the summer. So we go weeks without seeing each other, and it's the same. We're like, oh no,
like traveling.
Obviously, you want to go vacation, you want to go do the things because it's, I'm sorry to say this, but it's going to snow soon.
Stop it. No, I reject that.
I'm kidding. It's not that bad. But we do know that, these are the months to be out and to do the things. So it's common that we don't get a chance to meet, or not everyone is able to be there together. And so, we really have this longing of, when are we going to finally be together again? This is too long. And sometimes it's only been a week, but we've gotten so close that we really do. We rely on their prayers. We rely on their friendship. And I love, so another leader couple calls it a safety net. It's just a time for us to be who we are without having to perform. We're just who we're meant to be, and we're loved in that. And that's a special relationship. And that's what we build when we have these married couple groups. As you were talking about your family, even I look back and I'm like, wow, to have 5 kids at those age ranges, you're a busy couple right now. This is a busy time of your life, and you get to share that with others who are also doing it. If not for the married couple group, you're just trying to make it through. You're just kind of, you're not exactly sure if other people are struggling the way that you are. In fact, if you're on social media, you're kind of afraid that you're the only one struggling because everyone shares the good.
How great it is.
But now with the married couple group, you can realize that, okay, we're not bad parents, or what we're going through is not abnormal. It's something that's common. So there's great relief in that. And again, that's JP2's recognition that we're meant to be together. We're meant to be in communion with each other. And our world has created a pseudo relationship, or a pseudo community. So we think, hey, I texted you, or you're in that chat group, or we're friends on Facebook, and that's enough. But we know it's not that human connection that we need.
And so it's more skidding across the surface, right? Rather than going deeper and having that fulfilling relationships that reintegrate our personhood. And so anybody who's interested in joining the training, you're assigned a mentor couple. And our mentor couples are people who've led a group for at least a year and then get mentorship training. And Josie and Beth are one of our mentor couples. So you never know, you might be assigned to them. And they're absolutely fantastic. But what I also wanted to touch on was, within this 16 months or so that you guys have been leading your married couple group, have you experienced particular challenges that maybe in the past might have been harder, but having this renewed union in your marriage was easier to handle, or God helped you do it in a way that might have been different than before?
Some of the really challenges that we've experienced just in parenting in the last year and a half with the changes in age range and kids going through different stages, and how difficult that would be if we weren't as good at communicating now as we like compared to before we started all this. To be able to just be on the same page and like to talk through things in a different way than it seems like we were before, you know. And so I think that too, when things arise, I mean, we also were praying in our married couples group a lot of times when we would have struggles at home with parenting or whatever, but just to be able to the two of us talk, and those are tools that we didn't have before we started doing this. So
I do think our life has changed drastically, and some of it with even talking with you. We got to meet Peter and Theresa last summer, and you asked me if I homeschooled, and I was like, no, like, do you? But I don't know, I just had this inner calling, and I felt, I really do credit MCG, probably praying to John Paul II every day. And I approached Josey, and this was like last August, and we found the courage to take that leap. And I really don't think that would have happened if we wouldn't have been devoting all of this time to our marriage and communication. And it was a really exciting thing for our family too.
Awesome. So you've been homeschooling this past year?
Yeah. We made it for 1 year, and we're all set up to do next year. So, or this fall, I should say.
1 year at a time. That's how
1 year at a time. Well, that's what you said to me. I said, do you homeschool? And you said, it depends on the year or something like that. And that just really gave me that, you know, we talk about the real and the ideal. And it's like, well, if this doesn't work, you can always.
And yeah, there's no judgment.
At least not from us.
But it really spoke to my heart. And, and so our oldest goes to high school, and then the 3 boys are at home, and it was an adjustment for them, but I think they liked it, you know? So it'll be an interesting journey. And again, we know that we can figure that out if it's not working. So, yeah.
Wonderful. All right. So, we are nearing the end of our half hour here with you guys. So, if you could give advice to couples who maybe are thinking about, like, maybe there's this pull in their hearts that I want to do this, but I don't know if it's going to be too much, or I don't know if we have the capacity because our life feels overwhelmed, or we're doing all these things. What would you say to them?
You know, the beautiful thing about really what we've seen, what we've done with all of this is there isn't, I think you spoke about it in some of your previous podcasts, so it's not an expensive thing to start to think about doing, really. And there isn't a lot of pressure. It's not like when you sign up, you cut your hand and there's blood on the table, or they're doing it. Like it's if you try it, like just take that leap, that just one at a time, right? Like 1 year at a time, one little meeting at a time. It's amazing, right? Like I think that once you start, it's hard to you'll want to keep doing it over and over. Like
Josey, what you didn't know, because Theresa made me stop, is we had actually a hazing season for our leader couples. So there was blood spilled.
Not true.
But which
just talk to Dexter. He'll tell you all about it.
I must have missed that part of the podcast.
You guys have gotten stopped.
That's the men's outing.
Right. You have to be able to bench at least 200.
Yeah, right. No, the women's outing, we just drink more wine. We're good.
That's funny.
That's great.
Wonderful.
Well, thank you. We're so grateful that you could be on with us, and we're just grateful for who you are. And I love your story. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm picturing like do you
I love the
stand?
story
Do you
of
stand on a paddle boat?
exactly.
Like
I love the
that's
story
my
of hearing us while you're
curiosity.
on
I'm
the
like,
paddle.
yeah, right, exactly. Like somebody's listening to us while they're paddling across the lake.
Yeah.
That's weird, but amazing. And yeah,
And JP2 would love that. He
no,
was
Yeah, she's very
absolutely.
outdoorsy, right?
Yeah,
So
of course.
She does stand. She's out there standing and paddling back and forth, and super entertaining. Actually, we had our priest over so it's a couple of years ago, and he's, it looks like fun. Can I try it? And he's I've never done it before. I said, sure, but just make sure, like when you get on it, you're gonna want to stagger your feet a little bit. One in the front, one in the back a little.
don't listen to him.
He hasn't let me live that one down yet. I don't
Did he
paddle
fall
board. Like
over?
while you listen,
He never fell in.
it was close. He was wobbly.
Honey.
I'm sure it's difficult, and yeah, it's still like,
No, it's fantastic. I love the image.
it is such a beautiful image. Like that's a JP2. Like here I am, just taking time, but also listening to and God speaking to me on the lake, on a paddleboard. It's
coming to you in the real, right? Like, and that's what it's all about, is taking our faith, taking all these glorious things that many of us have probably heard talks on theology of the body, and we've learned the things, but then to like implement them into our daily life and make it actualize is a JP2 word, but like make it real in our daily life. That's what these married couple groups do. So thanks for giving us a little insight into that.
Yeah.
And for all of our friends who are listening, jp2rule.com, scroll down just a smidge. It says that start your journey here. You click on that. It'll take you to the leadership website where you can learn more about the September training and apply if you feel God calling you to do that. We'd love to have you.
Yeah.
So thanks again, Josey, Beth, for being on with us today.
Thank
God
you.
bless you all.
God bless.